Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Planning Board meeting of January the 20th. I would like to call this meeting to order. Open the meeting at 7:01, or should I say I should make a motion opening this meeting at 7:01 p.m. on January the 20th. Do I have a second? It's been moved and seconded. There's a verbal second by Rob Wolf. All those in favor, Steph,
Aye.
Brett,
Aye.
Jim, hello, welcome. Are you and I? Jim, even a thumbs up would be okay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get my audio straight.
Okay, so Brett, Jim, Steph, Rob, are you and I? And I, Frank Hookham, and I as well. So we can call this meeting to order. We just did. All right, so the topics for tonight's meeting include the following. Open meeting, are there any items not anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance of this meeting? Hearing none, I'll continue on with reading the rest of the items. Minutes, we'll review the minutes of January the 6th. The hearings, we have none. Current planning board business, items for the ATM, which is the annual town meeting for 2026, that will happen in May. Items to be discussed will be storm water management plan, continuing draft language. Item, that's 1A. 1B would be housekeeping items, potential warrant language. Item 1C, other items for consideration. Item 2 of the planning board business is update on zoning bylaw review. Item 3 is ATM, annual town meeting communication plan. Item 4 is land acquisition appointment. So appointing somebody from this board to be on that board. And item 5 is update on energy and housing legislation. Lastly, the last topic is other business. And other business includes reports on meetings with other boards and entities and a town meeting report. So that is our agenda. If that is acceptable, I'd like a second on the motion to accept that agenda.
I'll second.
So Rob seconded, so it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Brett?
Aye.
Rob?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Steph?
Aye.
Welcome back. And I, Frank Hookham, and I as well. All right, so that is our meeting for this evening. So the first item of discussion for our agenda for this evening is the review and approval of minutes from January the 6th. Has everybody had a chance to read them? Do we need to put them up on the screen? In fact,
I do need to put them up on the screen. I did have a chance to skim them.
Definitely put the ones I sent later. Brett I sent the AI. So.
I think I looked at the ones you sent later. Let me see. And maybe I missed this, Heidi, so I just wanted to be clear. Is it correct that a future planning board approval is for that driveway curb cut? I thought we had already done that and it wasn't needed.
We don't need a planning board approval for the driveway cut. That's a DPW approval.
Right.
Okay, so this says that require planning board approval. So I'm struck this from the list.
Yes, would not require planning board approval.
Right. Okay, so I struck this bullet because the other two do require planning board approval.
Yes.
Okay. And then also that relates to language down here that says Bob clarified, sorry, I'll make this bigger. Bob clarified that the new driveway did not impact the existing stone wall.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess on that list, sorry, up there, it was Bob saying what his steps were.
I understand that, but this
yeah,
says would require planning board approval, and I don't think that this is pertinent.
Nope.
I don't want to put or DPW because that introduces uncertainty. I'd rather just strike it from the list.
Right. I think that's good.
Okay.
This is part of our business, right?
Right. And then I didn't recall saying that frontage access would require wetlands crossing. I thought what I said was that although it's not being used as access, it could be even if wetland crossings were needed.
Yes, that's
So I
fine.
just
Yep.
slight clarification, and then there was an empty sentence here that didn't finish.
Okay.
So this was about warrant language. So it said the board discussed input received from select board members regarding how best to provide warrant language, right? Observing that, and I said, and so I completed the sentence. Comments made for town officials were not consistent or uniform. The board opted for a shorter warrant article that includes a statement that identifies the purpose for the changes, and the advisory report could be as the advisory committee desires. So I was just trying to like round out that. I'm sorry, I have to step away for like 30 seconds to let my dog in. Just a moment. She's been barking for a while. But please continue up with.
Okay. Does anyone else have comments?
Hearing that, I do have two comments. One, wait till stuff gets back, is just a quick change. There's one character out of place that just needs to be deleted, and that may have been caught. It's in the first paragraph. It's in the paragraph that's is one pre-submission review on the farm road. The third sentence up from the bottom in the parentheses is estate lot, which is in quotes, and then there's a slash quotes lot 6. I don't know if that slash needed to be there, or it just should be estate lot 6 or equals lot 6, which is in that first page 1, first paragraph, right there. Yeah.
And
I'm
the new-
actually, do we need to say the estate lot part? Like I was sort of summarizing how he characterized them, but if it's numbered lot 6, I don't know if the estate lot is really.
Yeah, I agree. Lot 6 is great.
Yeah, that's fine with me too. The other thing that I wanted to comment on is a continuity and a proper syntax, how we should follow things. And so this, I'm going to propose this as follows. When we refer to people's names, if it's a board member, I think it's fine to use first names, Frank, Rob, Steph, Jim, Brett, etc. Because we use them so often throughout, and in this, I think that's fine. But here, when we have a presentation or some comment made by somebody that is not on our board, it should be their name under the section where attendees or people that have attended. And then actually if you go back to that first paragraph that we were just at, we say Bob Murchison presented, which I think is right. And then it says, where your cursor is Murchison, it should be Mr. Murchison or Bob. But I think it would be better to write Mr. Murchison in the other places and not use first names in those situations. And for two reasons. One, you could have multiple of the first name. And secondarily, I just think in terms of etiquette, it's the right thing to do. So a little bit further down in the second paragraph, it talks about the sidewalk cuts. On the sidewalk, we talk about Mary and Bob would consider improving Bob. So I just think it should be, again, Mrs., Mr., and do it that way.
I would like to raise a little bit of a counterpoint just because that requires that I actually struggled with this a lot because I was instructed to do Mr. and Miss in the minutes. And I don't know that people's pronouns are always clear. So it required me to make an assumption based on the speaker in the room. And I really didn't like doing that. So I would prefer to use first names or full names.
I would go with full names, but if they don't indicate it in their screen name, then I feel more comfortable just using the Mr. and Mrs. And if they have a pronoun after their name and they really want something different, then I would more agree with you.
But sometimes if somebody's not on camera, you in their phone, the thing just says iPhone or whatever, and they say you can't always tell by somebody's voice or even by looking at them like what pronoun to assign. I feel like there's if they're showing up as Bob Murchison, I feel like we should call them either Bob or Bob Murchison rather than That's just my opinion. And if everybody else wants to go a different way, I'll go with it. But
It sounds kind of silly to me to use two different names, to use their name once and then the title later. I would say if just whatever the full name is, just use it consistently. If you're uncomfortable with first names, just call her Mary. If you call her Mary Moore the first time, call her Mary Moore every other time too. Why not?
Any other thoughts?
I think that's probably the easiest for me anyway, when I'm taking notes, to go ahead and just like for my own notes, I might just have their last name, but or their first name, whatever I can remember at the time. But when we report it in the minutes, I can report both because then if there's maybe both like maybe more than one person from a family is on the call, then I can maintain like which person spoke. So I can use that convention. The other thing I know that I do that I think I took it from like an earlier minutes, which is for some reason when we do the roll call, I do everybody by last name, but when we're talking, I talk about everybody by first name. I just feel like for the vote, for whatever reason, it seemed more official to have the last names. But then there is that inconsistency when we're talking in the notes. So whatever you guys want me to do, I can do. If you prefer it to always be first names, for us, I can do that too.
So I think we have our name listed as attendees as our full first and last name. So I think either one is fine for going on forward.
Okay.
So I think even in the votes, as long as there's not two of us with the same name and we have a different, one abstains and one rejects, there's a no and the other one is a yes, then we should indicate which one of those two. So there were two Franks, Frank H was in accord and Frank B was not, something like that, that just to make sure that it stays clear.
So uniformly first names?
So I think it's fine if the rest of you think it's fine.
that's fine. That was the convention of the last minute taker to do that hook eye, wolf eye kind of terminology. But for me, when I was doing minutes, if everyone voted yes, I would just say 5-0 and not report names because there's not really a way. Or I would say 4-1 with Rob Wolf not in agreement or something like that, right?
Okay.
So that was just, to me, it was an easier convention, but whatever works.
I would concur or agree with that as well. I think it looks kind of strange seeing her last name listed with I, or most of the time I.
Yeah.
I mean, at the
Okay.
end of the day, we just have to record the decisions. So it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. We don't have
Excellent.
to have the minutes be consistent from week to week as long as it's clear, right? So, but it's nice to have consistency if it's easy to do.
Going back
Okay.
to those that are not on the board, I would just want to say that I'm fine with you doing the first and last name. In fact, as I think about it, it probably would even be really easy if you initially wrote whether it was Bob all the way through, then you could just do a global search and replace, and with Bob, make it Bob space Murchison and hit replace, and then all of them get fixed. It just makes it really easy, in terms of logistics way of doing it. Sorry, Jim, you're going to say something?
That's why I said it.
Okay. Those are the only things that I had. Were there any other edits to the minutes? Hearing none, I move that we approve the minutes as amended in this meeting. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Brett,
Hi.
Steph?
Aye.
Jim?
Abstain.
Rob?
Aye.
And I, Frank Kim, and I as well. All right, minutes pass. Next item on the agenda is hearings none. So item 1 of ATM is stormwater management plan, continued draft language. So we should pull that up.
Yeah, I think when Steph comes back.
Yes.
I have not heard from town council. I have sent this to them, this draft so far to them to ask them to start the review. I'm hoping we hear back by the next meeting because the hearing is in the week after that, so we have 3 weeks to hear back from them. There is still a couple items remaining. I think Joyce was looking into the swimming pool, hot tub question, and another one of level of construction completion. So those 2 items have not been completed yet for here. But I think all the other edits Steph had been working on are incorporated in this draft.
There's one change. Well, so are we approving language tonight?
Well, we're not approving the final one. We're just trying to go through, are we in agreement with what's here so far?
I see. Okay, I will share it.
So until I get the town council's version, I don't think.
Right. So we have time to approve it though, right?
Yes.
At a future, okay.
Our hearing won't be until the 10th. So we have another meeting
Okay.
to go through where hopefully we'll approve it.
Okay.
So if we accept these changes tonight, then these new changes need to be sent to town council? There's no changes?
No, this
no.
is the version that was sent to town council
Okay,
to look at.
Yeah.
But there's still some outstanding things to do. We did like swimming pool and hot tub and soaking tub, like there was some language there,
right.
right? And then there
Good.
was
No, that's
full
still
reconstruction homes,
That's
right? And
ongoing, right?
so there's no sense in approving anything right now until we get the final language, I think.
I just think if anyone's had time to look at it or review, is there anything else you wanted to add or change in this? Are people comfortable with what's on here?
I'm seeing shaking of heads, yes. The only one I can't see is Rob. How are you feeling about this?
I just skimmed it very quickly. I didn't see anything, but I was fine with what we had as of, the last time we were running through it, editing it.
Right.
There is one thing which is
The enforcement.
this illicit discharges, illicit connections, and unauthorized discharges. Oh no, I got that in there. I got that in there, right? Because I heard back from her, so I just did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would, if you're planning to take a closer look at it, it'd be good to take a closer look at it before the hearing, so that what we're presenting at the hearing is our best foot forward. Would rather not be making changes in the hearing and then revoting based on planning board comments, if that's possible.
Right, but the hearing is to allow the general public at large to give
Yep.
comments and make comments, and potentially we consider those comments and make those changes if we think they're relevant and necessary.
Yep.
Okay. So are we going on to the next item on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is housekeeping items, potential warrant language.
Right. So I'm putting through some examples. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, that the stormwater one will be, the document itself is going to be on file with the town clerk and on the planning board's website. So this is just language I want to make sure that we are okay and working with. I don't need this for Thursday select board meeting. What they're putting on the warrant are the two right now, the 2 placeholder items, but they did not need the complete wording from me for Thursday.
So we're not going to do a strike through. We're just going to do a change in
On the first,
its entirety.
Yep.
Okay, that's different than what we had been talking about. But also what we're missing here is the purpose statement that we talked about.
right,
And that's in email.
yes,
Can I just add it in real time
yes, you can-
now?
yep,
Okay.
Yep.
It's just going to take me a minute to grab it. Here it is. So this is, I sent this out just to a small group, so to avoid the open meeting issues, and it would be, go right here. Okay, so this is the purpose language. And I think, Frank, you were on this email, right? I just want to make sure
Yep.
you've had a chance to see it as well. I think
Yep.
you had some ideas about what should be in here as well. So, oh, no, there was more because hold on. This is this was the original, and then Jane made a good comment. Hold on. Here we go. We can add. Okay, so this is the purpose statement. Jane pointed out that it should also point to the new triggers that we have, which I completely agree with. So this is this highlighted yellow is the proposal for what would be in the warrant article as a purpose statement so that nobody
You need to take away
has,
that one "and" before town right of way.
well, it's,
You're just on it, because you have another
but this
comment.
is to protect these things,
Those
which
protected
it has the
property.
"and" in it. And also to modify the thresholds. They're different verbs. So this all goes with protect. And this is a whole separate thought, which is modify. So it's not just adding into this list. It's a separate thought.
But has a comma, so it would make it part of a list. And with an "and," it means it's consistent with what is there from before.
It's
I
like a
see.
nested list, though, I think is part of the problem. And normally I think we would deal with it with like semicolons, but we can't because that's separating that clause already. So
We could do this. We could move
You could
this
number
here.
them as the two clauses as one
How
and
about
two.
that?
Hmm.
How about if we put it there?
I like Rob's comment better, 1, 2, 3.
Put it back the way it was. Oops, this is the verb. Expanding. Actually, it should be this,
yeah.
There you go.
right?
Mhm.
Expanding the regulation beyond the currently regulated MS4 to also protect these other guys and modifying the thresholds which triggers stormwater management permit. I also had language in here about improving enforcement, but I just didn't. It's secondary to these things, I think.
Do we want to list here now where they would be found, or we're not doing that because we don't know where they're going to be put yet? Is that why they're not there?
No, so I have it on file in the office of the town clerk, and we can add "and" on the planning board website.
But what did we decide about at town meeting? Is it going to be printed in the warrant?
That's going to be for advisory to decide.
We said the advisory could decide to print it. They could print the whole, we would give them the track changes version, we would give them the clean version, and they could decide what is necessary to make their report what it needs to be.
But at town meeting, we will have both the red line and the clean version.
Available to hand out to people who would like
Yep.
to read them.
Right, and on file with the town clerk and on our website, I am going to put the red line version and the clean version as well. And with the red line, an explanation of the changes that we made, kind of like I did last year.
I don't like the word trigger. What if I did this? I'm going to suggest that change. Instead of trigger here, I don't like the
Well,
word
I
trigger.
like that. I agree with you. That's a much better word.
So after Office of the Town Clerk, could you also add and on the planning board website?
I can, it requires us to keep two copies that are not in conflict with each other simultaneously. So we can do that, but you're signing up to make sure that there's no conflict between the version that's on the clerk and the version that's on the planning board website.
Correct.
Okay. Because they have to kind of be updated simultaneously. If they get updated, then.
Yeah, no, what if we make any change to the website, I just go and make the change with take one out and put the new copy with.
Right, but that has to be done simultaneously with the office of the town clerk too. So it's like it creates
Yeah, but that's what just Heidi said she would do.
Yeah,
Yep,
I would
great.
I would have Jeannie upload it and then go right next door and give Jackie the new one and swap them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to vote on this, but a straw poll on whether we all agree that this looks good. It would just be a kind of like I'll call your name and you just kind of like, yeah, it looks good to me, or not. Rob,
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Brett,
I am. I guess I still wish we could include the clean copy here rather than have it for handout. But I mean, that's like 5 pages, right? So if the select board feels like that was too much, then. But this language is great. I have no problem with this.
okay, Jim,
I agree. I think the way it reads now is acceptable.
good. I think it's also good. All right. So we'll move forward with that one. What's the next one?
So these were our miscellaneous zoning article bylaws that we had gone through, where we had what we missed last time for the most part, making the corrections. Because multi-dwellings was permitted in a couple of them. And we had said permissive when it was actually allowed, didn't need a permit. And then we did not define open space before, so that's what we're doing. The OS is defining the open space residential subdivision. Then if we go down another one. So this one, Steph, I did send you another section to add in here. So we were getting rid of the low and moderate income apartments. Wouldn't be any three ADUs allowed. So we were striking it from where it was listed in living accommodations. But then we were trying to figure out where we were going to add something to say we were still going to want to have it as an option, but have it count as a special permit one. So I think, Steph, I sent you later on my thoughts were under 3.2.
Can you see 3.2 right now, or do I need to
Oh,
reshare?
we don't have it.
Okay.
So right now, when you go onto our bylaws, it still has the old version with on top part that says, oh, these changes were added, but they're not incorporated into it yet. So this is my suggestions. We'd add a number 10 under the list of what used to be called apartments, which we've now termed special permit ADUs, and say something like this, or happy for any language people think they'd want. I was just trying to keep it very simple.
Is this the same language that Addie May that we had talked through with Addie May at a prior meeting?
It's a little simpler, more simple.
Okay.
It's basically, we're trying to get the words local initiative project, which refers to the states. But I didn't want to start citing state sections because things change right now. And the key words are, we want it to be included on the subsidized housing inventory. So whatever the criteria is at the time to get on the housing inventory is what they'd have to meet.
I'm not familiar with this term.
Shouldn't it be?
Okay, so local initiative project is a friendly 40B. They call it a LIP project. So Coolidge Crossing is actually a LIP project where you sit down and you work out terms that the town kind of is in agreement with. And in order to be a local initiative project, interestingly enough, an ADU can only be integrated into the house. It can't be a detached one. It can only be an attached one. And it has certain criterias in there, again, on the marketing, and it requires a long-term deed restriction.
Okay. So what we're saying is that at first I thought the lip was the friendly 40B. And I was confused if we were constraining it to friendly 40Bs. But then I'm realizing that in order to get a special permit from the planning board, it has to be friendly. So I think it sort of self-constrains itself as a special permit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a capitalization here, Heidi, potentially to match this.
Yep.
But otherwise I think that looks okay. Is a lip always a 40B, or is a lip affordable housing that's friendly to the town?
Right. It's not always a 40B.
Okay. Because like an ADU doesn't have to be part of a 40B.
Right, that's right. But an
Okay.
ADU can be a lip.
But Addie May was good with this?
I haven't run this by her yet.
Okay. I would sort of say that this is fine, contingent that Addie May
Yeah.
agrees with this, just because I think she understands it. She's been in it longer than any of us. So
Right. And I've got to make sure town council does not want us to put any statutes in it.
uh-huh.
Should there be a word, a special permit ADU may be established, or maybe consider, maybe, some other word there, be a low.
Designated or something.
I think it
Yeah.
designated. Yeah.
There you go.
That I'll make this correction if I'm doing that.
Right.
Is that the right? I mean, if you're running it by town council, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm trying to make it very clear that it's not an additional category. It's part of the special permit.
Should we say if it meets the criteria?
Sure.
Provided that,
Yeah, I think if it makes it.
and can be and could be and will be included on the SHI.
Yeah. And we can put in parentheses LIP and SHI if you want, because these are terms people might have heard and not realize what they even stood for.
Oh, I cannot type.
So right now, that's what is on our warrants.
Well, this would require another
Another
addition to the
vote.
warrant. Yeah.
It'll be under that housekeeping, it would be
Yep.
another amendment to the table of uses, to the schedule of uses.
No, it wouldn't. It would go into section 3.2, wouldn't it?
Which is the schedule of uses.
You're right. I forgot these were defined there weirdly.
Yeah.
Schedule of uses.
So where we had it before,
Yeah, you deleted it out of 3.3, so it would go in the schedule of uses as number 3. What is it?
so it'd be 3.2-2A10.
Okay. Sorry, I need to go to the actual code to look at it. I mean, we don't have to make this change in real time either, but I don't know how to cite it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna put oh, I see what you're saying. 2A10. Okay, now I understand. I think we would say something like here, we would say like 2.
So I
Oh,
think
that's
on the first, well, if we go back to the warrant language one, to see if the town will vote to amend the Sherborn bylaws, blah, blah, section 342, I had scheduled uses, I had 14A, we'll do it first, it'll be 2A10. Oh, no, it's adding, it's not amending, it's adding. So we'll have to do a separate line for that.
this should be deleting, right? Because it's wait,
No.
amending.
And we're adding number 10.
Oh,
We're
hold on. No, hold on.
A to include 10.
Instead of saying adding, we could say append, amend and append.
Yeah.
No, there's a verb tense issue that I'm just making standard throughout because this said amending.
Yes. Yes.
What's star?
We can't
Amend.
do what you're working on now. We just see the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. You guys are like, I'm like, guys, can't you like, I'm like,
No, that's why I was like trying to point like, oh, we're back at this other one, the war language.
okay, what's the star amend the footnote? Shouldn't it be amend the star footnote? Because here it used
So it's listed as 26A and then star in the title, like,
oh,
and then the footnote is the star. So it's how, as I don't know, how do we denote that?
26A and the star, the associated star footnote,
Yep.
right? Would that work?
Why don't we say 26A multi-dwellings?
Yeah.
Multi-dwellings, star.
Yeah, star.
And the
yeah.
associated star footnote. I mean, I can put it here if you guys want me
Yeah,
to.
I would do it there. Yeah.
There you go.
And the associated footnote.
Yeah.
And then here we need to say add,
Append.
amend. See, the first one cites the chapter. And if we're doing 2A, it's before 14A, right?
Right.
So we need to say add.
Yep.
Append.
And then semicolon, amend section 240-3.2 schedule of uses, right? So we're adding
See, I would have reversed it because the whole thing is giving a list of all the amendments we're doing to the bylaws. We're adding and deleting, we're amending the bylaws, and then I'm listing the sections.
but you're saying, but this first sentence says amend
Yeah.
14A.
Yeah.
So where would you put add to a 10?
Why don't we say to amend the Sherborn zoning bylaws, chapter 240 as follows, and then
Yes.
put a quote, and then start section 243.2, schedule of uses as you have it, and then start with 2.
Sorry, you're already there. Okay. As follows, section 243.2, schedule of uses. Well, it would be add
Yep.
Dash 10,
2A
10,
10. Yep.
to
not 210, 2A10.
Yep.
amend section 243.2,
14A.
14A.
Yep.
But the way you do it in the first one is you say 2A.10, you should do 2A.14.
No, it's 2 is the same as 14.
Yeah. It's a list of 2, but then it breaks down into A, another where 14 just had an A, it didn't have anything else.
But the 14 is not under 2A?
It goes 1, 2, 2A, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then 14 has an A next to it, right? Or was it?
Yeah.
But is the 14 under 2A? 243.2A, 14A?
No,
No.
they're both 3.2 is schedule of uses, and it's a list of 27 or something different uses. 2A is a use and 14 is a use. What I'm confused about, Heidi, is whether is this a capital A and
It's a
should
small
this
A. It's a small A in our yeah,
that's what I thought.
yeah, and then 10 I'd almost put in, yeah, and then because 14A was a big one. I'd almost put A in brackets, but we'll have to ask town council maybe how to cite that.
Oh, so the 2 and then the A is in parentheses. I mean, it's in parentheses in the.
Yeah, it should be in
Yeah, I think the A
parentheses.
should be parentheses because it's an indentation of 2, where 14A is not. It's just its own line.
And I don't think you need the parenthesis before the 2, right? Section schedule of uses 2A10.
Yeah, I think that parentheses should be in front of the A.
Just the A, but not the 2, right?
Yeah, not in front of the 2, I would think.
And not after the 10.
The schedule of uses, what is the schedule of uses? It's 2A10.
Mm.
List.
No, the schedule of uses is a whole list, and then we're talking about item 2, item 2A, and item 14 on the list.
That's why I think it doesn't need a parenthesis before the 2 and after the 10.
Hold on, I'm just going to I know I can't see everything in the zoning bylaws, but
Oh yeah, if you could see how it is written.
yeah.
Can model that.
Okay, let me move this over here and share it. Stop this share, start this share. So 243.2 is schedule of uses.
Yeah.
Then we have 2A, to which we're adding, well, 9 is already there because of,
The amendment last year was 9, and this will be
and then we're
amendment.
adding a 10. So this is like, I'm still confused on like how and when these are getting updated because this is
So
not going to match.
I know it's
But
very
anyway, but then 14A is its own category because it comes off of private school.
Yeah.
Daycare and childcare centers. There's no parentheses needed here. 14A is an item on the list of schedule of uses, just like 2 is an item on the list of schedule of uses.
So 2 should have parentheses around it. If you bring that back up, I think we could see. I think 2.
Yep, I'm trying to. It's
10
just
doesn't.
takes 8 clicks to share a different window. So you think this should be like this?
Yeah.
2A10
Yep.
and then 14A
Yep.
and then 27.
So let me just go back and let me make it one more level of confusion. Shouldn't the parentheses 2, parentheses A, no parentheses 10, all be in parentheses? Just like the 14A is in parentheses?
The 14A was in parentheses because that's how it's listed in the bylaw, like number 2.
Okay.
It's just like a line.
Yeah, it's consistent right now. And 27
Is
is
also,
also by itself in parentheses.
26A is also line by itself.
Yes, like 14A.
Yep.
So this is all consistent.
They don't make this easy.
So then this needs to be 14A,
Yep.
right? And then this needs to be 2A10.
Yep.
Insert text. This needs to be, well, now I'm curious what the table of uses says,
It
but
might not have that same. I think we'd have to look at that back in the.
but the code, but the table isn't in here. It's like,
I know.
oh yeah, it is in here, 14A. Yeah. So it doesn't have the front parentheses, it has the back parentheses.
Yeah, that's why I figured I had to. I was trying to copy from what it did, and
Yep. Yep, I see it. Okay. So we've got the 2A10, we've got the 14A, then
14. You need the parentheses there because the schedule of use has the parentheses in front of it.
yes, you're right, you're right.
The table doesn't. But we're not talking about that in the table.
So do we need to show 27 and show a strike through the whole thing?
I think
Like
that
you,
if you go down further, oh wait, am I
no.
doing that? No. So 27, aren't we deleting it?
Yes.
We're deleting it.
We don't need to show it with a strike through? No?
I guess we probably should. If you want to add, I mean, if we're doing it, I might as well add something in there.
Make sure it matches what's here.
And then if you want to write insert text next to it, because it has a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, you want to put the whole thing in? It's got
Well, we're
like
deleting the whole thing.
pages and pages.
I know, and this is why I'm kind of conflicted with if we're just saying deleting it, if we need to show it, because we're not making a correction.
Isn't that a town council question? I don't think that we need to.
Yeah, that's fine. But just
Be
leave
debating
it there
that.
and just write insert text if needed on it, so I'll know that as a. And then the same thing below, we'll have to add that onto table of uses.
Without the front parentheses.
Yeah.
Okay. 27A was P all the way across. All right, it's easy. Why are my tabs not? Oh, someone put spaces in here.
I had to try and get it to fit the place. Didn't have the right size. The tab kept putting it off. That's fine. Jeannie is really good at formatting.
Okay. So that all gets struck through.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
And that's all we were gonna tackle this time for housekeeping until we do our zoning bylaw review.
Okay. Brett, did you have a question?
No, I just meant I clicked a mistake.
Okay. Are we good for now? We don't need a vote on this, Heidi?
Nope.
Okay.
All right, then. Next item on the agenda is 1C, other items for consideration. Heidi, what do you
I
think?
don't think we have any other items for the town meeting warrant. That's what I put this here as a placeholder in case something came up. I think everyone's hoping we don't have any more.
Both planning board and other committees. All right, so hearing none, we'll move on to 2, update on zoning bylaw review.
Right. So
Before we jump away from the warrant, what's the timeline for this? I feel like I'm not sure if we discussed this. What's the timeline for approving the stormwater bylaw?
well, we have our hearing will be on the 10th. And that's where I'm hoping that we can have some approval that night.
Assuming there's nothing that's changes anything too drastically.
Because
Well,
we don't have any other meetings right now scheduled for February. And then if we get it approved on the 10th, and we've already kind of done a run through with town council, we'll just be giving it for them to review any final changes. We'll be in really good shape for the advisory meeting is mid-March.
do you know if Joyce will be there on the 10th?
I think she will be.
Do you know if Sean or Addie Mae could be there on the 10th?
I don't know, but I will ask. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And Joyce, yep. So update on the zoning bylaw review. I thought we were really close, and then with trying to sign the consultant and the attorneys group that was going to act looking over the legal side of it. But then Jeremy said there's this whole contract that he'd prefer we use, and it's like a 20-page contract, which I've had to send to the parties who are working through that. And of course, the one law firm looked at it and they've got changes that they've now sent back, and it's I'm looking like I'm losing another month. So we're close. It's on Jeremy's desk to see where we can go, and it's the last hiccup really is the attorney's part of it. So I'm hoping by the next meeting, it's a done deal. That's it on the update there.
It'll be nice to have it started before the next annual town meeting. Okay, annual town meeting communications plan.
Right, so this is what I want to see if people have ideas of how we can get this out to the public. We're gonna have a notice that goes to everyone, a hearing notice, which I have enclosed. I think I've got that sent in your packet. And I was gonna see what people's thoughts were on the notice. I added a little bit more detail. I'll have to make sure we have all what we just talked about in there, the sections.
Did you send that in all the materials, Heidi?
I thought I did.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, hearing notice draft. I see it. I can share it. All right, let me.
But it'll be a little postcard that goes out to everyone. And I kind of thought maybe we can also, and it'll be published in the paper. So this is the version that'll be published in the paper with, we'll add the details to make sure that we just matched what we did now. And I added a thing that's what this section seeks to add land disturbance management to include the whole town with several different levels. I have the levels of management from no action to current 1 acre level. So it's trying to have people understand we're not making more than what was already there with the 1 acre. And then the article on the other one, it's some administrative updates and incorporate low and moderate income accessory dwelling units under the special permit accessory dwelling unit. I'm hoping if we do this on a postcard that I can say, please keep updated on the planning board's website for the full documents and the text and explanations, something more. So this is what's going to be in the paper, but on the postcard, I'm hoping to add a little more to try and get outreach going of saying to please check back. I'm going to try and do some more town planner Zooms available to discuss it like I did last time. We'll be in front of advisory, probably breaking down in small groups again with them to discuss this. Any other thoughts of how to get this
Were you
out?
going to put a QR code on the postcard? I think that would be helpful.
Oh, okay.
Talk of QR codes. I think
That way they can go straight to the website.
Website, yep.
Do we feel that next door Sherborn would be an appropriate place to put some information? A lot of people go there for information.
Sure, if anyone, I don't do next door, but if anyone wants to post, I'm sure that would be great. Also, I think maybe the Sherborn Rocks 01770. I don't know if anyone posts there, but I could try and reach out to Kathy Halemka and ask her if she would post something up for us.
is there a reason that you've taken a little more freelancing liberties with the stormwater bylaw, but not? Oh, I see you added this article seeks to correct some administrative updates and incorporate low and moderate. Like I find like this kind of language to just be impossible to read as a layperson. I understand why it's in the warrant the way it is,
Yep.
but here, can we take some liberties here and just like say replace chapter 200 entitled Stormwater Management and then delete the rest of this? Like just completely redo the bylaw, right?
Well, when you do a public notice that we're posting like this, it has some criteria that you have to have very specific things and notice what you're referencing in the part. So that's why we've always put the sections like town council last year and told me I had to list all those sections in our postings. And what did go on the
Okay.
postcard last time were we amend section this section that, like that had to be specified what you are actually working on. But you are allowed, like I've been looking at some other towns where they do give that's why I added the other explanatory statement so that it tried to do it. Maybe we can put that in bold. Those parts.
Can we do it in reverse possibly, where you state what it's for and then where it is with?
Yeah, I think we could probably do that.
That way, at least the first thing you're hit with is something that is understandable, and then
I know.
this is where it's still there, but it's just.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I agree. I mean, it's like by law, you have to state these things of how to send out and what to post, but you get it in the mail, like, what is this?
Yeah. Like if it could say something like a new bylaw, chapter 200, stormwater and land disturbance management, which replaces stormwater management or something like that. Is that what you're saying, Frank?
I
You're saying,
Yeah,
say
but
starting
that-
with section seeks to add. I thought you were trying to
Mhm.
explanatory language first.
Oh, I see. I see.
I don't know if it helps to flip it that way.
Then you could say which amends the Sherborn general bylaw, blah, 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 blah.
I'm trying to make it 2 sentences because it's so long as one sentence.
I know.
Right where you are, if just type the word which as the starting point, right where your cursor is.
But you can't start a sentence with which, right?
No.
Which.
You can say this amends, but we also said this section.
Well, this could be add land disturbance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This would replace
Yeah.
Sherborn General Bylaw, Chapter 200, title Stormwater Management. Can we just say like with a new bylaw entitled?
I think so. Why not?
I don't know. I think you're solving a non-problem personally. I think it was very clear before when it says, we're amending it by doing the following, and then another sentence that says this article seeks to do this, or the purpose of this article is this, or whatever. Done. There's a benefit to having standardized terminology after all. I don't know.
Yeah, and so put this back at the end. I just want to, I need to see it, right?
Yes, the concept is when they get to town meeting on the warrant, it's going to match for the most part.
Okay. I'm okay with this the way it is, and I had less of a problem with this overall thing than B, which is just really hard for me to read.
There's no easy way to say some of these things. And we have to specify exactly what we're talking about in the public hearing. So each one of these things has to be listed.
In this case, can we say amend the Sherborne zoning bylaws, chapter 240, to correct blah blah blah? Right? I'm gonna make a C and just do it.
What you could do that, but what if you just bold this article seeks to correct so that anybody who's like, ugh, I cannot understand this stuff, will skip to the bold part and then see what it does and be like, oh, okay, and then maybe that will make more sense to them. I don't know. Is it allowed to be bolded there?
We can try it. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe Steph's thing, we can look at it that way too. I don't know.
Let me just try this.
And thanks for catching the date because I was taking the heading from last year's intro.
Yeah.
So then I agree with sort of like bolding this. This would go away, I think. I'm just going to strike through it for now so it's not confusing. And then all of this would be replaced by what we talked about, right, in the other one. Has to be made consistent.
Right. It has to be consistent. Yeah.
Can we be more informal here and say like amend for 2A and 14A.
2A10?
Can we just say amend 2A instead of add 2A10?
Yeah, yeah. It's still part of the same grouping, so yeah.
Yeah, so amend 2A and 14A, delete 27, amend table of uses 26A, and associated footnote.
Yeah.
Delete 27. Okay. This warrant article, not bylaw.
Yes.
Right. Yep. And then, so if we do that down here, should we take the same approach up here and just switch the order of the sentences like Frank had originally suggested and put a bold sentence up front?
Good, sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's see it. I think that.
Um, to hold on one second. I just need to amend chapter 200 to add land disturbance to the stormwater management bylaw and include the whole town with several different levels of management from no action to the current 1 acre level. So this would be bolded, right? And then we would say unbold this warrant article would delete. Oh no, I want to move this whole thing. Amend the Sherborn bylaw entitled Stormwater Management. Okay, I think I got it.
You just need to unbold the amend. this
Yep.
one.
Yeah, I just want to read it out. Oops.
Would we propose 1 acre level?
Well, there's the stormwater management bylaw has a 1 acre level, so we're not changing that.
Okay.
That threshold, upper threshold.
I wanted
We're
to
just-
stress that people understood there already is a 1 acre level. People don't even know that.
Oh, then like through the current level instead of two? If
Or from?
from no action through the current 1 acre level.
oh, maybe that's not right. I don't know. I was just thinking that would make it sound like including, but because
What if we said ranging from no action to the currently regulated 1 acre level? Is that more clear?
I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, I think that's good.
To stay consistent, should we say replacing it with a complete text entitled Chapter 200 Stormwater Land Management land and disturbance management?
No, because it's still in chapter 200. We're taking this stormwater management piece and replacing it with stormwater and land disturbance management.
Okay.
So it's just the part in the quotations that's changing.
I was just looking at parallelism, but that's fine. Less words are better.
So this goes away, this goes away. This
The
is
date,
more readable to me with the bold.
yeah. Can we change the date to February 10th, 2026?
Is it a Tuesday?
Yeah,
Is it 7:15?
yes. Just so we don't start right at 7. And then it's also, to the Sherborn zoning bylaw, the Sherborn general bylaws and the Sherborn zoning bylaws. It's both, because stormwater's under general.
Hmm. Can we just do it like that, or do we have to say the Sherburne?
I think that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
So is that
What,
okay with this notice?
and you have the link.
Because I'll try and get it to council to be able to get it mailed out next week. Or, yeah, get in the newspaper rather, not mailed yet. I'll try to make this into a postcard with a little more information and the QR code, like you said. Other question, do you want this to be a hybrid meeting or just a Zoom meeting?
I think hybrids are really hard.
Yeah, Mike,
Zoom.
if there's a
Yes.
yeah, if there's a snowstorm, that means I'll be stuck trying to go and set up the hybrid, trying to get there. Everybody else can be home.
Yeah, there'll be one
Yeah.
person that's out all and everybody else will be
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, because it'll have to be, otherwise it can't be held. So my preference would be to make it just Zoom like we did last year.
Yeah.
It's really hard to try to get questions from the audience in two locations, you know, both at town hall and on the Zoom, and get people to hear each other, and it's just it's a lot cleaner and easier doing it by Zoom.
Yeah.
Everybody agree? Any naysayers? Hearing none?
Okay.
Okay, are we done with this item?
Yep.
Okay, what did I do with my, oh, here it is. All right, so the next item is ATM communications plan, we just did, right? So the land acquisition appointment.
Yes, so land acquisition has been re-energizing, and there is someone from the planning board or planning board's designee, so the planning board can choose to designate someone else if they doesn't have to be a member. Rob has been the designee for the last 3 years, I think, but it expired this last June in 2025. So Jackie pointed out to me we need to make an appointment. If Rob wants to continue, it's up to the board to discuss who you'd like to appoint, but it'll have to be a formal vote of the board that then I write out that the board voted, and get it to Jackie, and then whoever it is has to get sworn in for that position.
Well, it's an exciting position, so I would imagine that Rob, there might be more people than just Rob that would be more than excited to join this.
Well, actually, at the last land acquisition committee meeting, there was a suggestion that the committee might want to just dissolve. It felt that it was, the feeling was that it's kind of duplicates functions of a bunch of other committees. And I believe I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. There was some communication with Jeremy about that, and I don't, um, Seth Malloy was the person who made that original suggestion, but there was a certain amount of agreement on the committee about that. So, I'm, I mean, if the committee is going to keep going, I'd be happy to serve on it, but, that's, we might want to table this until we find out what's going on there.
The select board actually at their last meeting did bring up the topic and they have decided they want to keep it going.
Okay.
I know. There was a fair amount of discussion on it. Actually, Tom dropped off our call. I was going to suggest that he weigh in because I think he was on it. But they do want to keep it going, and they were going to, then that's why Jackie was asking us to get people appointed.
So Rob, you still willing?
Yeah.
Anybody else interested? Hearing none. All those in favor of, so I make a motion to appoint Rob to Land Acquisition Committee. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded by Steph. All those in favor, Brett,
Aye.
Jim,
I
Steph. Steph said aye. Rob?
Sure.
No abstain.
What's considered more polite, to abstain or to vote for yourself?
Vote for yourself.
My friend Hookham and I as well. I think he'd be great.
I'll write out the letter and get that to Jackie and Diane, and then you just have to go into Jackie to get sworn in for the next 3-year term.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
See the overwhelming enthusiasm. Okay, updates on energy and housing legislation. That's will be interesting. Heidi, you have some thoughts on that?
I debated on whether it should be town planner, but I figured we could put it here and talk about it. So the as you know, the battery energy storage and solar has been on the radar for a while of what the state was working on, some new regulations, which they're supposed to be finalized in March, which doesn't help us any. There was plans on one thing when I saw in the public comments, and I did weigh in as well, for small towns to get an exemption for the first year and not have to comply with this until 2027, so we could see what they were and with our one-time annual town meeting. They have decided not to take that. They're going ahead with making this effective in July with towns to require towns to comply by October of 2026. So, and then I had emailed them and said, well, how do you expect us when we don't, again, have the regulations finalized on what we're going to do? But they said that it's not going to require any bylaw changes by us. We basically have to have, probably through our regulations, have some type of a procedure that would be a consolidated permit. They're not going to call it a comprehensive permit. They're calling it a consolidated application process, that if we get an energy application to us, that you have like 12 months to have boards weigh in and you consolidate rather than go to every individual board. So it'll be very similar to the process right now we have with ZBA, but it's going to be for energy. So once we get the final regulations out, we can talk about it, but we don't have to rush. And I did check with town council on this as well, asking what their interpretation was. And, they kind of said, yes, they're told that we do not need a bylaw change, but we'll probably have to have some regulation put in. Or maybe it's just default that we come up with the consolidated permit somehow. So it's good news that we don't have to rush right now and we can put off some time on that one. And then there's some housing legislation for starter homes. The state is having a huge push on getting starter homes, and they're trying to look for all different types of incentives. And they're looking for towns to put in, they're calling it, I think, 40Y, an overlays district on certain areas that would give starter homes some more by right type of approvals. They are saying, there's another one that's saying that they want to allow plots that are only 50-foot frontage and can be only 5,000 square feet that can have a 3-bedroom home on it. These are all just pending bills right now. We don't know which way they're all going to go. And especially the 5,000 square foot one, it does say if you have water and sewer. So luckily it's not going to be something we're going to have to try and be subject to. But just
how is a starter home defined?
I don't know if they're doing it by income. They were saying like a 3-bedroom home, and they were just doing it on a small plot of land. But I can try and look more into it. I wasn't.
Okay, so it's just like a housing diversity, housing
It's
stock
supposed to, right,
diversity
it's supposed to be
type
to
thing.
entry-level homes in.
Okay.
Affordable housing, not necessarily affordable for
No,
discount target price housing.
it's to put them on smaller pieces of land, which right now certain towns are saying you don't have the minimum street frontage, you can't use it, but yet with the land they could, especially if you had water and sewer, you could put a small house on. So they're trying to make more parcels available than are currently zoned in towns. So interesting to see what comes through. They're at different stages in the process, but I'll keep everyone updated when we get more information on it. And that's it for those updates.
Okay. Does anybody have any reports on meetings with other boards or entities?
I just wanted to add that Groundwater Protection Committee, Tom just sent out the nomination expiration dates as well. So similar kind of a situation. Planning Board's representative or appointment expires June of this year. So we're looking out a couple of months. So I just wanted to put it on people's radar screens. I've been doing this for 2 cycles now, 2 3-year cycles. So this 6 years on the Groundwater Protection Committee. Don't feel an allegiance to stay on it, but happy to continue in the role if that feels appropriate. We do not have to vote on this now. It's just, I was just reminded from the earlier discussion. We've got the spring to figure out if there's anyone else on the planning board or off the planning board that we would want to nominate for participation in that role.
Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else have anything from any boards or entities?
Unfortunately, I missed the Regional Transit Association meeting that I'm the representative to. They had a meeting last week, and I guess they got a new recording secretary. Whoever sends out all the emails associated with it is different now. And all their emails ended up in my spam folder, and I didn't see them until today. So I missed the meeting. The other thing, just as we were talking about the land acquisition committee, the glum expression on my face was not about being appointed or anything. It was that our longtime chairman, Frank Jenkins, died yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But if the select board wants the committee to continue, we'll figure out some way for it to continue. That's it for me.
Okay, anybody else have any reports on any entities or committees, boards?
I do not. Unfortunately, I missed the last historical meeting. I had the flu at the same time as our last planning board meeting, which I also missed.
So I have one, town caucus, and I was trying to find the email that was sent to me. I believe it was from Jeremy, but it's typically the first Thursday in March. And that's the nomination process for members on boards that are their terms are up, so whether they want to re-up or new people want to run for those positions. That is one of the options for getting put onto the ballot. The second option would be is taking out papers. So going to caucus makes that process easier. And so that's happening. That's the Thursday in March. It's usually 8 o'clock in the evening, and it's typically at the 1858 house across from the library. So with that email coming across my computer, it made me think about who's coming up this term, and I know that I am. Is anybody else on our board?
Yeah, I am as well.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I will not be running again for the planning board. I am moving out of town. I've acquired a property, actually in New York State. We're going to be moving closer to my son. It's a tough decision because we've made our commitment to this community. We've been here for 30 years. Both my wife and I have wonderful friends, and we've been very involved in trying to live in a great community, keep it great, and all of that. And but on the other hand, our children have their own lives, and they're never coming back here. And one lives in the Netherlands, and the other one lives in Albany, New York. So with that, if we don't do something to move closer to them, then at some point when we are no longer capable, we'll force them to have to do something with our house, with us, and all of that. And I've had that situation in my family a number of times, and it's created chaos and havoc and real problems for family members. And I don't want to do that to my children. So we're going to be proactive in that process. So it has nothing to do with uh, the joy of working on this board, the joy that I've had with working with all of you. It's really been one of the things I've been wanting to do. It's been a goal of mine to be on the planning board, and B to be chair or co-chair, which I finally attained. So it's with a heavy heart that I have to make this announcement. But I hope that we can work together to find some potential to fill that to fill my spot. Um, yeah, what else can I say? I'll miss working with you guys and working with this, but one of the things I haven't been able to do is some of the work that needs to be done to get this house on the market, and so I need to make some time. And the idea is that, with any luck, and next year we'll put, the house will go on the market, and we'll see where things go from there. You can't always see and know how long things take, but those are at least the current plans, and to make that happen, this is one of the changes that needs to occur. And certainly, we're not thinking that we'd be here for another 3 years, so I wouldn't be able to do a 3-year term.
Thank you very, very much for what you've done, Frank.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sounds like a good transition, though, to be closer to family. So congratulations on that kind of big decision, big life decision.
Thank you.
Well,
I've enjoyed working with you, Frank, as well, and think that this will be a loss, but I'm happy that you're going to be closer to your family.
Thank you. So Jim, what about you? Are you looking at running again?
I think so.
we hope so now.
Well, if you think of somebody that would be good, you should maybe plant the seed, start early, and remind often.
Does Jane have any interest in running as a full board member?
I don't know. I was able to convince her to come on as associate. She had told me she didn't want to run for the planning board, so I don't know if she would. Now, if there's going to be an opening, I don't know if she would consider doing it.
You know, I'd also recommend Mike Newman. I think he has that interest.
Yeah, we've talked to him before, and that's where I tried to get him interested as the associate, and he said he had too many meetings.
Yeah.
You never know. And maybe things changed in a year.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, yeah,
I haven't talked to him in a while, so.
good excuse.
We're gonna take him out at the knees if he doesn't.
Jim, I'm really glad to hear that you want to run again.
Yes,
Thank you.
and we could also discuss further, when you want to discuss transition, plans, if before or after I, depart the board, it'll leave it up to the board. So with that said, is there a town planner report?
I don't think I can follow anything up with that. No, I think we're done.
Okay. Well, hearing no other discussion, I move that we adjourn this meeting of the planning board January the 20th at 8:32 p.m. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, Steph,
Aye.
Jim,
I
Rick,
Hi.
Rob,
Aye.
and I, Frank Cookham, and I as well. Well, good night, everybody. Have a wonderful evening
good night.
on February the 4th.